Hi, and welcome to the Toon Goons, the podcast in which we take an adult and critical perspective into the world of cartoons and animation, and analyze how they affect the pop cultural landscape at large. I'm one of your hosts, Nikki.
I'm Nina.
And I'm the brave little Toochster.
Hey, and that's what we're talking about this week. The 1987 film, The Brave Little Toaster, one of my childhood favorites and a movie I've revisited for the first time in at least 15 years tonight. I think it's going to be a pretty cool discussion, and hopefully not 3.5 hours long.
Yay.
In the interest
No,
of...
let's do a fucking college thesis on the brave little toaster. Let's do it.
It's possible, but we're not.
Nope.
Nah. Fuck that.
But yeah, in the interest of not being 3.5 hours long, let's go straight into news. And you know what you got.
Alright, so I guess the first story I have is about our buddy Ian JQ.
Woo!
Recently went on this sort of Twitter, not a rant so much, but like just sort of this Twitter conversation.
I'd say a monologue.
A monologue, yeah.
It's very level-headed because he's a level-headed man.
Yeah.
He is a chill dude.
And sort of talking about the whole CalArts thing going on with the animation industry.
Basically addressing the myth that a lot of people wanting to get into the animation industry talk about the fact that if you want to be in TV animation, or animation in general, but specifically TV, you have to have gone to CalArts. And it's actually something that somebody asked him that at the MagFest panel we were at. Nina, you weren't there for that, but yeah, somebody said what he said in one of these tweets. It's gotten to the point that last weekend at a panel, somebody identified Rebecca Sugar as a CalArts student to her face. That was at MagFest. We saw that. Yeah, and she's like, I actually didn't go to CalArts. I went to, it says so in this article. Which, by the way, this
School of Visual Arts in New York City.
Yeah. We're looking right now at an article on Cartoon Brew that compiled all these tweets. This article is fucking terrible.
Yeah.
It is bad journal.
Because the author at the end, like, turns around and says, but, you still need to go to... If you go to CalArts, it'll still help you a lot. And, like, that's the whole point Ian's saying is that it's coincidence. But this is something that I actually wanted to ask him at that panel, but didn't have an opportunity. Like, because it's an observation that I and a lot of people have made, is that a lot of the talent that's going on in TV animation right now are all Cartoon Network alums. Adventure Time's Penn Ward, regular shows J.G. Quintal, Uncle Grandpa's whoever that guy is, and Clarence's Skylar Page, all CalArts alums. Alex Hirsch from Gravity Falls, a lot of the talent on Wander Over Yonder and Star vs. the Forces of Evil and the new Mickey Mouse. So, like, you see a lot...
even the Brave Little Toaster.
Oh,
we're talking
shit.
about today. Also, a lot of CalArts people. There's a history of it.
There is an absolute history of CalArts alums going on to being successful in the animation industry. But people are, from then, extrapolating that it's a necessity, and it isn't.
Oh, hell no.
But what I think is interesting about the current cartoon landscape is that we are seeing a lot of shows coming from people of the same art education background. And that's not necessarily a bad thing. And all these shows I mentioned, the creators are CalArt alums, but it's interesting to note that, they're all very different shows. But you can sort of see a through line through them. And it's hard to say if that's a... Well, no, one could say that that's because they're all from CalArts, but I just think that's the place where the art form is at right now, because it also shows that aren't CalArts are like that. Like Steven Universe is a great example. It shares the same kind of thematic through line that Adventure Time and Clarence and Gravity Falls have, and we've talked about this on our early episodes. That like how Steven Universe is like the poster child for the current era of cartoons. So I think there's an argument to be made about like the industry not having enough diverse backgrounds, but I mean, that's something that we can't really assess at this point, I don't think.
Well, also, the industry chooses who gets into the industry. All these CalArts guys got in up above 100 other pitches from different guys that higher-ups and executives and pitch people all said no to. So it's I think like the industry goes in whatever direction the industry wants to go, and I'm unsure how influenced the talent is because they pick the talent.
That's a good point,
it
actually.
It seems like everybody's friends, so like
that too.
It seems very
Everybody
insular.
knows somebody.
Yeah, Yeah, everybody's really networked together, and that actually is a good point. That it's possible the studios, the channels are saying, CalArts is pumping out moneymakers because that's what how they think of it. CalArts has given us Adventure Time and regular show and a lot of stuff that we've been able to make a lot of money off of. Let's go harvest guys from CalArts.
Yeah.
And I do think that might in the long run turn out to be a pretty bad thing.
And then someone, tweeted at ENJQ and said, there's like 4 other options, So like it's not like there's even that wide of a pool to pick from anyway, because there aren't that many sort of schools that are known for this industry that like contribute a lot to this industry, because there's not that many animation schools. And like I know because like my school has an animation department, and of course they're always very sort of resentful of CalArts because it gets all this attention, and our school does not really like. I remember when the CalArts thesis films came out last semester, and everybody was just like, "They're not that good. They're not that good." Like, no,
salty.
They're pretty good. Sorry, guys. But yeah, no, it's they definitely have this reputation, and I think Mickey's right. It is a little worrisome that it's only one place producing all the content. It should be a bit more diverse. Even if there are only like 4 schools, we should be hearing about more people from those other schools.
There's also self-taught people. I don't know.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah. You don't need to go to school for animation. Really, what it seems to me is that what going to school for animation is providing these people most advantageously is connections. Because that really is what every industry is networking and connections and all that other boring, awful shit I hate.
But then you have people like LaShawn Thomas who like didn't go to animation school, and the guy is very successful, and he made his own connections. So like if you want to do it, you can do it. It's just
Thurb Van Orman of Flapjack fame. He was an animation school dropout, and he just worked his way up the fucking Cartoon Network ladder as first as an intern, and then he just became friends with people and just made connections and worked his way up.
Yeah, I mean, that's the best thing you can do is make connections with people and put yourself out there. That's what Rebecca Sugar was saying at the panel that I saw, where she was saying the best thing you can do is share your work with people and be shameless about it. Just share your work with as many people as possible. People that you admire. It's the best way to get connections, because connections is the way into any industry.
God, I wish someone filmed that.
Oh,
so I think we don't really have a solution to this, but I think it's an interesting discussion, and
people should be aware of it.
Yeah, and it's something I think we'll have to see how it plays out before we can really analyze how it affects everything. But it is something that can't be ignored. What else you got?
So next we have GKids acquires The Prophet. So GKids has been distributing a lot of cool stuff lately. I believe they've been responsible for distributing Princess Kaguya and other things. But so they picked up the North American rights to Kali Gibran's The Prophet, which is an animated passion project of actress Salma Hayek Pinault, which is based on the classic book by the acclaimed Lebanese author. The film was on official selection at Cannes and made its North American premiere in Toronto, and because of GKids, it's going to receive a summer release this year. The story, it comprises of a narrative story written and directed by Roger Allers from The Lion King, with individual chapters based on Gibran's poems that were designed and animated by internationally celebrated animation directors, including Tom Moore, which we know from The Secret of Kells and Song of the Sea, also Joan Gratz from a film called Mona Lisa Descending a Staircase, Bill Plimpton, Guard Dog Your Face.
What I know him from is that one Weird Al video. Don't download this song. That was him.
Oh, neat.
Nina Paley, Sita Sings the Blues, Joanne Safar, The Rabbi's Cat, Paul and Gaetan Brizzi from Fantasia 2000, Michael Socha from Chick, and Mohammed Harib from Frisch. So yeah, this seems really interesting. It's sort of like a mismatch of different little shorts of these poems.
You had me at Sita Sings the Blues.
I haven't seen that. What is that?
It's so good. It's like a It's like 3 different stories all revolving around the same narrative.
I think I've heard of that
each other.
through a controversy because she did not acquire the rights to the song she used in there.
She uses a bunch of, like, they're super old. I mean, anybody would have assumed, I assumed that they were free license, but yeah, like, it blew up, and, like, it's a really good film. We should do an episode on it. It's super good.
Yeah.
Alright, cool. But yeah, so, yeah, that woman, Nina Paley, is going to be doing a chapter, or based on one poem. So, like, this whole film is going to be all these different poems, and each director is going to direct a different segment of it. It sounds really cool.
Like that actually sounds fucking amazing, like an anthology kind of Exquisite Corpse thing. More of an anthology.
Yeah, it's supposed to release this summer.
I mean, anthology films are like a thing, and you usually see them like I've seen a lot with horror movies, like VHS is an anthology, or
Trick or Treat,
or Grindhouse. Although that was, well, if you count the ads, that was a lot of guys.
Animes do a lot of anthology films too. Like there's the Animatrix anthology thing and other stuff like that.
Yeah, or that Halo thing.
Yeah, it's called The Prophet. Keep your eyes peeled for that this summer.
Oh, and Quevajane Wallace is going to be in there.
Yeah.
Neat.
I'm interested to see how she does with voice acting, because here's the thing. It's something I've been thinking about, because I saw like a post on Tumblr that said, like, you know, it's time to reboot the Harry Potter movies. And like at this point I'm like skeptical, but it says because Quevajane Wallace is not going to be old enough to play, it's not going to be the right age to play Hermione forever. And I'm like, okay, you got me back on board.
Invested.
Yeah. Although I do think the best way to reboot Harry Potter would be as an animated series.
Yes.
Because we've seen it as movies.
Yes.
I think that there's no organic way to do it as movies that isn't 7 movies, and let's not do that again. I think as an animated series would be great. And still, get Quevajane Wallace to voice Hermione, who you need to make black.
Ooh, and Glenn Hansard is going to be in it. He was that guy who was behind Once, that musical.
Yeah, the one that you and Mom really like?
Yeah, I mean, I really like the music, or the soundtrack. And then Yo-Yo Ma is going to be in it. Frank Langella is going to be in this.
And John Krasinski, and we saw he was good at voice acting after Wind Rises.
Yeah, oh yeah, that's right.
He was the friend. He was great in that.
Yeah, he was very good.
He was one of the best actors in that movie.
Yeah, definitely. Yeah, no, this looks absolutely amazing, and I'm even more pumped than I was before.
And again, it's more Middle Eastern culture, or culture from the Muslim world in animation that's coming, and this one's like explicitly coming to the West. So that's going to be great, and I love it.
Yeah.
Can't wait.
All right, what's next?
Yay. Well, a lot of my stories I can't talk about because the website's not working. But very quickly, an Astro Boy live-action film has been announced. A Hollywood production.
Oh no. How do you do that?
I believe it's a Hollywood production, if I'm not mistaken. I would load the article, but I can't.
I mean, he's not going to be able to look like Astro Boy at all. Astro Boy is literally just a child in a Speedo.
Yeah, you can't
do that.
Yeah, Animal Logic Entertainment has announced plans for a live-action adaptation of the manga. It's an Australian studio known mostly for effects work in movies like Marvel's Avengers, Age of Ultron, which hasn't even come out yet.
So they'll make good robots, but, you know, still.
Yeah. Well, I don't want Astro Boy to look like Ultron. I like how Ultron looks, but that's not how Astro Boy looks.
I mean, like, well,
it is a special eye towards live-action project with heavy use of special effects. Apparently, they're also developing an adaptation of Betty Boop.
Huh.
The project
to go alongside Gendy's Popeye.
I guess the project is in early development. They are preparing to search for writers, no director yet. So yeah, this is like very, very pre-pro, but...
Honestly, best case scenario, it crashes and burns, but they release some pre-production artwork, because I want to see at least where they want it to go, but I don't want this to exist. But I'm curious.
I mean, okay, the last time they made an Astro Boy movie, it wasn't great. It was the CGI film, which wasn't great.
Yeah.
And then there actually was a live-action Astro Boy TV show in Japan that was also not great.
Well, yeah, that gets a pass because it was the 70s and there was no such thing as television budget anyway.
But the writing wasn't even very good.
But still, like, I'm just like, that's my main hang-up. Like, he's not going to look like Astro Boy. For one, it's just going to be some white kid.
Yeah, I'm going to be mad about that.
Yeah.
2, they can't give him the hair. That'll look dumb. They can't give him the outfit. There isn't one. He's naked. This is a naked robot child.
I love his hair.
But it looks terrible in 3D.
Yeah, in real life.
Like, yeah, can you imagine
I'm talking
that?
Real life.
Oh, yeah.
It
Well,
looks,
robot. It
would look
like a 3D
But he looks...
headpiece.
But when Tezuka draws the little robot boy next to a human man, they look both the same. You can't tell he's a robot until he starts zooping around and shooting beams out of his buttocks.
Well, no, there was the Astro Boy, the 2007 anime, where it did look sort of different because Astro Boy, it was like very reflective and shiny, so it looked like it was metal.
That's fair, but now I'm worried he'll end up looking like a flesh-colored bicentennial man.
Okay. I don't know.
I'm just saying there's a million things that can go wrong here.
I definitely agree with you.
Yeah, we're not excited. We just have to talk about it.
Yeah. I adore
that animated reboot show, that's still looking good.
Yeah.
Yes. Fingers crossed for that.
Yeah, a preview is going to be released on March 21st, I believe. So when that happens, we'll let you know.
Yeah.
And then in Toonami news, I guess more anime stuff, it was announced that their runtime has been cut in half. So instead of going from like, 10:30 to like 5 o'clock in the morning, they're not going that late. And so they're cutting a lot of their shows. But honestly, I feel like that might be a good thing because I don't know how many people stayed up to watch the whole Toonami anyway. I certainly can't.
Yeah.
I feel like a streamlined block can be good. Like, they just have the good stuff in there and work on promoting new things and at hours people will actually watch it.
Speaking of Toonami and cutting stuff, I was just happened to be glancing through Toonami on a whim one day and I could have sworn I saw that like Attack on Titan got shit ratings and they took it off.
Yeah.
Wow, really?
Yeah, apparently Attack on Titan hasn't been doing very good on Toonami.
I wonder if it's because everybody
already saw it.
Yeah, everybody who would care already saw it.
Yeah.
And also everybody who already saw it is probably so used to the subtitles that they're like, this is a dub, and I hate them.
I wonder if the same thing's going to happen with Kill la Kill.
I feel like Kill la Kill might be more... Because I'm trying to think of the Toonami audience, and I can totally see why... Attack on Titan wouldn't be popular with that because it's like kind of slow
real
and boring. But Kill la Kill is at least really energetic. You know, it's got the Gurren Lagann feel to it, which Toonami people like. So
yeah, I've noticed that people who like love Dragon Ball Z like a lot hate Attack on Titan.
They also hate Dragon Ball Z Kai for some reason.
That's ridiculous. Dragon Ball Z Kai is the perfect iteration of Dragon Ball Z because it's watchable in a human reasonable amount of time.
No, they cut out fight scenes.
They cut out like minutes of extra nothing is what they cut out.
And the Intruder 2 special they've been like teasing is still gonna happen, so like I don't know, they're just streamlining it, I guess.
They're downsizing.
Which I definitely don't want Toonami to go away, but it is sort of in a difficult place because, you know, it's one night a week and they don't have, because Toonami used to have like a kid block, like in the afternoons.
Yeah, Toonami used to be in the afternoon.
Yeah, they would.
This is actually an interesting thing about Toonami, is that it doesn't serve the same purpose it used to.
No.
Or rather, it serves the same purpose it used to, but for the same generation of people.
Yeah.
The current iteration of Toonami is for the people who grew up on Toonami back in the 90s. Or I guess early 2000s? I don't know when Toonami was. But...
90s, yeah.
Yeah, but it's not bringing anime to kids like it was originally.
No, it's too late to bring kids.
It's too late, and it's running, well, I was going to say it's running, like, more older-oriented stuff, but, like, so is original Toonami. Like, Rurouni Kenshin wasn't for kids.
Well, it could be.
It could be, but it's like you wouldn't think of it that way.
No.
No, for teenagers.
Also Tenchi Muyo, that's literally a harem anime.
Yeah.
Well, Toonami had an afternoon block and it had an Adult Swim block.
Midnight Run.
So they had like different shows they aired at different times that were both Toonami.
And then at peak Toonami, they were running the afternoon stuff, Midnight Run, and then Saturday morning, the Rising Sun. So Toonami was a fucking commodity. They were everywhere. You could not watch Toonami.
Yeah, but now with
and
just
the bubble burst.
Now with just this Adult Swim block, like, I guess the people who watch Adult Swim don't really care about Toonami. I guess
Toonami has strayed from its mission of turning our children into despicable nerd leeches.
Yeah.
Why do that? Do more of that.
Anyway, and the last story we have is in Channel Frederator news about their new partnership with Chilean-based Marmota Studio for their animated series Fin Punch, which just premiered this past week.
Oh, I forgot to watch that.
Yeah, the show was originally an 18-part Spanish-language series, but Cartoon Hangover is dubbing it in English and distributing it on their channel. Apparently, moving forward, there's going to be 2 episodes air weekly, so Tuesdays and Thursdays on Cartoon Hangover. The first part was very, very short, so it's just a silly little thing. But the interesting part is that Channel Frederator is acquiring like worldwide rights to distribute this thing, and they're partnering with an international studio and all this stuff. So it could be an interesting, like, for the future of them partnering with other studios and dubbing other stuff and putting it on the channel, which I think is the most interesting part of the story. Because Fin Punch is kind of just like, I don't really know what to think about it, because the short was like literally 1 minute long. So did you watch it, Tooch?
Yeah. I mean, it's literally just like a guy yells at a dolphin, and the dolphin makes dolphin noises. And it's basically the entire short. That's the joke. And like, but you're right. I didn't know that they acquired the rights to it. That is an interesting business model that could work for them, because they have product that they don't have to produce themselves outside of, dubbing it.
As far as internet animation web series that are less than a minute long, kind of can't touch the level of quality of Doris and Mary Jane are breaking out of prison. Mary Ann.
Absolutely
That
not.
show does
That's
a lot
gold.
in 40 seconds.
I still haven't watched. I didn't realize they were so short. I would have watched them if I knew they were that short.
Yeah, did I not
like
show you the
30
first
seconds
one? Yeah, they're like, the longest one's like 45 seconds long.
Oh, wow.
And they're fantastic. We can't really talk about them on this show, though. Like, we're not going to do an episode on Doris and Mariana breaking out of prison, because there's nothing happening. It's just funny.
I mean, like, once it's over, we can talk about it.
Yeah,
Maybe.
maybe if we get, like, only want to do a 20-minute episode, which we may come to that. It's good. Watch it.
I would love to do that.
That
would be Merry Christmas to me.
I highly doubt we'll ever talk about Fin Punch, though, because it's essentially just dolphins are people.
Do you like
but they
dolphin
act like
noises?
dolphins.
That's the show. Go nuts.
That everything?
Yeah, that should be everything.